Hello dear gamers! Today it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to a new cozy adventure. I like this one so much, I couldn't resist playing 30 days of it. And if this video does well, I'll be sure to do another one very soon. A big thanks to Fireshine Games for sponsoring today's video. Tales of Seikyu just released an early access today, so do go check it out for yourselves. Don't forget to click the link in the description and get 10% off for the release week. I picked a girl who has already traveled to Seikyu with the ability to take on different forms. For now, I seem to have traveled with a talking fox-like companion called Kon. We arrived at the dock and chose the name of Lily. I chose the 19th of summer as my birthday and was welcomed by Seabird the otter. And yep, as expected, we have bought a farm. There's even a mayor to show me around. I was happy to see that I have my favorite power in any cozy game: to rummage through the trash. I picked up some basic crafting recipes and met with an otter NPC who runs the town's fish market. This surely means there's a fishing minigame. It also seems like we'll only be able to enter certain houses after befriending the residents. I got a starter sword with an equip menu that will look similar to any Switch gamer. Again, you can regularly find foods and items in the trash and nobody bats an eye. I tried to pet a dog in this town, but this cat fellow had other ideas. The mayor showed me to the shopping area, complete with a tailor, furniture studio, and an assortment of cottages. I met some more townsfolk who all seem to have their routines and different ties to the community. It really makes you feel like the new girl in town. At last, Yui the mayor was satisfied that I'd done enough to see my new farmhouse. Right on cue, my ghost grandpa appeared and urged me to whip the place into shape. It seems my family line is aligned with that of the fox. And even my grandma mentioned something about discovering my fox form. I showed off by turning into a beautiful boar instead for my first form. It's already been a very eventful day and I could finally check out my new home. Of course, it's filled with bushes and boulders. I met my guide Mushashi, who can transform into a black cat. What a life that must be. He pointed out the shipping bin and I dubbed it Lillian's farm. As I headed out on day 2, my dear guide advised that I use my boar form on the farm. I also got a watering can and some starting seeds. The boar easily clears rocks and trees, but best of all, it can till a large area of soil without breaking a sweat. I made sure to plant a few seeds before going to this magical tree over the fox shrine. It seems there are more of these to find out in the world. While in town, I grabbed a few quests, pet the dog, and did some window shopping. Otter Willie was kind enough to gift me a beginner fishing rod, and I went out to see if I could actually catch anything. It's definitely one of the more dynamic fishing games out there. I also got a bunch of crafting structures, so another day dawned. My backyard got a workbench, and I went out to do my boring tasks. Soon I could afford a furnace and I attended the bonfire party being held in town. This was a great opportunity to meet some of the other eccentric residents and I had a lovely time. Unfortunately, my little cat companion had a spooky nightmare of some sort. Oh well, I'm sure that won't be important till later. Day 4 brought the rain, and for some reason this lady thought it was perfect weather to come and paint my garden. Luckily, she knew to paint during a cutscene, which as everyone knows, protects you from the wet weather. I fished for some rainy catches and tested out my sword against some pesky blue slimes. Thankfully, the last slime was respectful enough to wait until I finished my conversation before tacking further. She needed bamboo from the mountains, so I strapped on my hiking sandals and headed up. Imagine my surprise when I found the fox ruins. After a quick puzzle, I came across a depiction of the harvest goddess. Back home, I crafted a stove and got this whole cute little sequence to celebrate my first home-cooked meal. Here you go, Seabird! I cooked a few more dishes before heading back to the ruins. Here I missed a jump to find an angry slime and a lower hidden tunnel. I found another NPC and I must say, I would love to romance this guy. but unfortunately he's just a miner. I got some more mining advice along with a bunch of iron ore. We will be visiting this fellow often, since he says he wants to become a master blacksmith. As the end of my first week drew close, the farm started looking pretty great. I harvested some turnips and headed back down the ruins. I demolished a room full of giant hungry plants and ended the week with a nice little cash boost. Now, I must admit I only planned to play a single week at first. The days are much longer than I am used to, so I wasn't sure how much time I would spend playing. But at this point, I really wanted to make some progress in the ruins, find stronger gear, and of course, build a cute farm. As I headed into town, I was invited to the opening of Seabird and the Blacksmith's Fitness Club. Not sure where exactly we are, but these guys thought this was a perfect opportunity to bring up a running argument. Seabird wants a master blade. Mr. Blacksmith says it's too dangerous. Seabird storms away. Yeah, this has definitely happened one too many times. I needed a break and soon find myself fishing next to Musashi on the river bank. It was time well spent because after leveling his friendship, we unlocked the backpack upgrade. I planted my newest seeds and headed to the ruins to finally get through this final tunnel. To my surprise, there was a big boss fight waiting for me. It was a tanuki named Anji and the sworn enemy of the foxes. This boss instantly transformed into the biggest slime I'd seen so far. This form was quite slow and I soon got into its rhythm. It was pretty insane to see this huge slime twist itself into all kinds of shapes. I ducked and dashed as well as I could, and at last, I had the boss at my mercy. Or so I thought. It managed to pull a disappearing act on me. How rude! It wasn't all for nothing. I did manage to find the slime transformation scroll. There was also another mural which showed long ago the animal nations lived together in harmony. Back at the farm, I unlocked copper tier machines and a nice helping of gold for the fish I caught yesterday. It looks like the best part of being a slime is moving effortlessly through water. This means I could access a new part of the ruins, where I accidentally found a pretty powerful enemy. I got some good hits in, but being unprepared, I got completely flattened for the first time in this run. I'll let these guys live for now. In the morning, I found a letter from the mayor informing us of the day's Carp Festival. I am loving all the fishy banners. Yui gave me the best news of all. This festival has a golden egg hunt. For 3 minutes, I searched high and low and came up with a grand total of 17 eggs. And wouldn't you know it, I got the first prize. I also tried my hand at the Carp Festival challenge. Really didn't expect to be riding a carp across the clouds at this festival. At the end of this eventful day, Kon told me he was happy we found our way to this land and hoped we might find out what happened to our parents as well. Liliana finished her painting of the farm and invited me to come and see it first. It was actually much more beautiful and artistic than I expected. You're welcome to paint some more, girl. I found a nice spot for it in my home and went for a rematch with the enemy that followed me last time. This time I controlled the greed and patiently dodged my way to victory. My mining reached level 3 and soon enough I found Anji waiting for me once more. No battle though, instead I was just teased and reached a heart of friendship with the boss? That's definitely new. I left the ruins and went about town dishing out some delicious meals to every NPC in sight. I ran into Yoji outside the furniture shop and he asked my help to make a super fancy cup of coffee with his new machine. I even made sure to pour some boiling water on the table, so it was a great success. While slipping away, he mentioned that a new casino would be opening up nearby. The owner also seemed very interested in the Fox ruins, so we can only hope their intentions are good. I gave the blacksmith a helping hand with his new shop and got a special mineral request from Liliana the painter. Back underground, I found Wooded Anna, so naturally I gave her a snack and turned into a big ol' slime. I also kissed my warring can goodbye. cause this farm gets the fields watered in record time. I found Anji the assassin and encouraged her to come and make friends in town. I also logged my second death for learning how to use explosive barrels the wrong way. I then found a boss, missed my first throw, but got him as he smashed my own barrel right on top of my head. That kind of move only a pro gamer could pull off. I checked out the construction on the forge, delivered the azurite, and did some slime diving for pearls to finish another quest. What a busy day! There was even time to visit the greatest flute player in the land. She invited me out for a drink, but I seem to have blacked out and somehow got home. Stay safe out there, kids. Kon was judging me a bit too hard, so I had to get him back. I attended the opening of the forge and got a new sword just for lending an ear to the blacksmith's troubles. And if that wasn't enough, we discovered someone has stolen all of his special ore. Before leaving, I made sure to grab a stronger pickaxe and a sword as well. The mysterious flute lady was so impressed by my tree chopping, she agreed to let me be her combat apprentice. I dropped off some materials for the furniture man and got some more fox lore as an added bonus. Best of all, my room got a little TV screen. This game has a very fitting title, as the many people you meet all have their own tales tying them to the land. They also have some form of scripture called the Tales of Glory. We learn that there were once many foxes throughout the land, but they all suddenly disappeared. My farm was also expanding. I could even make tofu now. People were getting roses and berries everywhere I went, and there was still enough for a tiny bit of gold as I neared the end of the week. There are these shrines around town that you can fill up with each different seasonal crop. In exchange for my crops, I got a shiny new hat. I caught some more fish, bought a couple of seeds, and headed back down to the ruins. Here I died an inexplicable death, with Kon helpfully pointing out that maybe we should turn back. I was determined to end the week on a win, so I felt real lucky to find this stone golem just laying around. There was a lost child in the woods, so I did the right thing and let it ride to safety on my back. I delivered the golem's core to the magical tailor shop in hopes of some powerful new apparel. Liliana was ready to paint a flower that only blooms for a single night, so naturally I stayed up with her all night. Yep, all night. Not long after, I discovered the final piece of a mysterious note. It mentions me and Kon, so it's surely written by at least one of our parents. So they left because of Inari? I rushed to tell the spirits, who deduced that Inari must have called away all the foxes as well. Plus, we would have left too if our parents didn't keep us well hidden. I faced another strong foe in the ruins, and even though I threw a box at him, I still died. This is getting serious. I licked my wounds with some more mining, until the morning brought more strawberries, and I went back to face my new obstacle. I played him like a true gamer with slime bullets from far away. Maybe now these enemies will learn to fear my supreme shape-shifting powers. I even ended this victory with one of my biggest money-making days so far. I made a preserve jar to maximize profits. It was the perfect opportunity to get some powerful new boots and keep the fashion police off my back. With my new style established, I spent my time getting deeper into the ruins. I got so far, I met Fujiki, who had already claimed my next transformation scroll for himself. He tried to scare me by glowing red and slamming his face into the ground. Real spooky. And as the fight started, he naturally turned into a huge spinning blade with two faces. I made sure to stand in front of the blade for a bit, and then it was slime time. I tricked the boss into the water by telling him it was the only way to become a slime like me. There I could make quick work of this foe, and like the boss before him, disappeared like a mist before the sun. But once again, he'd left the transformation scroll behind. I was feeling happy that I decided to play a full season of this amazing game, so I spent the last few minutes of the day making as much bank as possible. And that brings us to the end of this playthrough. I must say that I did really enjoy my time playing Tales of Seikyu, and I do think the game has a lot of potential. The NPCs are interesting and the art is stunning. I do love the changing forms aspect of the game, and I also really love the Fox Ruins. But that being said, there are a few bugs, and the main story at this moment is a bit short, but don't fret, as future updates are coming soon with a bunch of new content. Thank you all for watching this video. I had a ton of fun playing something different to what I usually play, and I'm looking forward to what Tales of Seikyu has in store for us in the future. Tales of Seikyu just released in early access today, so do go check it out for yourselves. But for now, I will see you in the next video.